welcome to SirenSongGaming. We're going to be a newly established adventure game channel. So what I mean by adventure game is going to be anything from survival games to RPGs when they come out, things of that nature. Um, Things I'll probably tend to stick away from would be like multiplayer shooters, things like that. Goals here are going to be some games that you can sit back and enjoy, um, kind of like I enjoy them. So, a little bit about this challenge specifically. So, what we are going to be doing is a 100 days to the airfield. What I mean by that is we are going to take a look um, at surviving through and getting to the far territory. My personal challenge for myself on this playthrough is I have 100 days to get from where I spawn, collect as much gear as I can, and that's it. When day 100 hits, if I am not in the far territory, I have to stop what I'm doing and go there. Um, the only thing I can stop for would be if I need to stop and get or make food, or get or warm up. Those are the only two things I'm allowing myself to stop for, or water. Rest is okay, but I'm not allowed to detour off and loot along the way. I have to go. Once day 100 hits, we're going. We can loot once we get to the airfield. As soon as we get through that broken railroad thing, we can start looting again. But my personal goal to myself is once we leave, we have to go. So we have 100 days to hit as many of these maps as we can. So we're going to start a new playthrough. I do play on Stalker. I've not found that Interloper is my best yet. I'm working towards it. But for entertainment purposes, we're going to stay on Stalker. So we're going to start a new game. We're going to go ahead and go to Stalker. Stalker, for people who aren't super familiar with this game, there's a few different difficulties. Pilgrim's going to be your easiest. Pilgrim is your basically brand new experience. Wildlife will not attack you unless you try to attack them. Most foraging's significantly easier. The weather's a little bit nicer, things like that. It's nice if you're trying to get your feet wet. Um, Voyager is what I would say if you want a little bit of difficulty. You're usually able to still get attacked by some predators. Wolves will still come after you, things like that. But the aggro range is a lot further on wolves. There's a lot more loot, things like that. But they will kind of go out of their way. If you have meat in your pocket or things that would draw them in, you're going to draw them in. But it's a nice balance, like the game states, between exploration and survival. It's a good way to learn the maps. Um, I did a couple long runs on Voyager and was getting kind of bored, so I did bump myself up to Stalker. My recent playthrough on Stalker, I'm up to like day 150, which is for me the best I've done. I am still a newer gamer on the Long Dark, but I do like to try to, kind of challenge myself, and that's where this challenge is based out of. So what we're going to do is we're going to do Stalker. So it's for more experienced players who are looking for a harsher experience. There's more wolves. They're a little bit more aggressive in terms of aggro range. Wildlife is more common. Um, and the cold's a little bit more. Your stats go down a little bit faster, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and pick Stalker. Um, So here's all the regions, and for those that aren't familiar with the game, I think we're going to go ahead and start in Mystery Lake. Mystery Lake is a good starter location. There's a lot of places to duck into, so especially while you're getting clothed. Mystery Lake or Mountain Town, I would say, are two really good choices to start. Pleasant Valley can be pretty good, but it can be a little bit cold, and there's some distance between houses and places to take cover, so take that as you will. There are more wolves in Mystery Lake and Mountain Town, though, so you do have to kind of keep an eye out. Especially early game. A wolf attack can kind of end your run pretty quickly, even on an experienced player. Just get an unlucky spawn. My plan is going to be start in Mystery Lake. We'll go ahead and we might duck back to Mountain Town depending on what we find Mystery Lake. Then we're going to probably kick up Pleasant Valley, then to Timberwolf Mountain so we can get up to Summit, get all the gear off of Summit, hit Ash Canyon. Maybe not in that order. We might do it the other way. And then we'll swing back down. I don't think we're going to touch Blackrock. I don't think we're going to have time. To be honest with you, I don't feel like dealing with Blackrock this run. I do like the idea of hitting the weapons bench, but I don't think we'll need it. And to be honest with you, we have to travel all the way to the mine. So I'm thinking we're just gonna, if we're gonna make ammo before we go, if we get in that situation, we'll probably duck down to Bleak Inlet instead. Um, so we're gonna start Mystery Lake. We probably won't hit Coastal Highway or Desolation Point. I think if there is a forge in Far Territory, so in terms of forging, um, that's what we're gonna do. So um, that's the game plan. If we have more time than I think we're gonna have, we might branch off of that plan a bit. But 100 days goes by pretty quickly if you're not careful. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on Mystery Lake. So Mystery Lake is ideal for new players. It's a good balance between wilderness and man-made shelters. Um, has a good amount of resources, and there's a decent amount of wildlife. So good, bad wildlife is also there. It's good amount of rabbits we can hunt down for food, things like that. And it does have a good amount of connection points. So it connects to Coastal Highway, Pleasant Valley, Forlorn Muskeg, and Mountain Town. So we're gonna go ahead and get started and see where we spawn in. Let's go. We're going to go ahead and use a female survivor. I like Astrid better just because I find her voice is a little bit less grating than Mackenzie's. I don't tend to hear it as much. Maybe that's just me. But I also just like her voice actress better, like her in other things. So we're going to go ahead with Astrid. I only have one perk unlocked. I am primarily an Xbox gamer, so when the new DLC came out, I did convert to PC. Actually like it on PC a lot more, so we're going to work on getting some of these badges as we go as well. So right now we only have Free Runner. We're going to go ahead and take advantage of Free Runner. I would eventually like to work towards what I would have picked probably would have been either Efficient Machine, Fire Master, probably not straight to the heart because I don't tend to use that much coffee, but definitely some of the perks that, are a little bit more helpful for other things. Drink coffee when I need to, but I tend to try not to use the resources if I don't have to. So as of right now, we're just going to use Free Runner, which just burns less calories. I clearly run a lot since that's the first badge I got, so it's pretty important for me to have this now. So go ahead and confirm. We're going to call this 100 days to Far Ter. Because I cannot spell out territory, there's not enough space. So you know what I mean when I say this, I'll know what I mean. We're going to go ahead and get started. So the basis of this game is that a geomagnetic storm has brought all power offline. So your plane goes crashing down into the North Canadian wilderness. In the story mode, or the Wintermute series as it's called, you actually crash in your plane, you have to survive from the plane crash and work through the story. This is actually survival mode. So in survival mode, you basically skip the part where you crash and you're damaged and you just kind of pluck up somewhere. So you get dropped in the region of your choice, but you get dropped in a random location, and then you have to try to get through and survive. So good things to know about this game would be wildlife is more aggressive than it would normally be. Hinterlands actually does have a little blurb in the beginning that says that we understand wildlife isn't aggressive like this. However, they are influenced by the geomagnetic storm. The other thing is there's no electricity, so radios don't work, power doesn't work. The only times those items work are going to be during auroras. So at night, when you see the sky get all pretty, it does affect the way the wildlife is. They get more aggressive and they're not afraid of fire. They're afraid of lighting, so LED lights, things like that, they are afraid of. But normally, fire, things like that, they would be scared of. They're not in this. So those are the two major things that we are looking at here. So let's see where we spawn in. I love these little blurbs they do in the beginning. There's usually something kind of cool, so I commend whoever at Hinterlands does these. So we are spawning in. Okay, here we are. So, just a little bit of explanation on the HUD. Bottom left-hand corner are going to be my, basically my health meters, things I need to keep an eye on. So, from left to right, going to be my cold. So, obviously we're in the cold. In terms of gear that we have, We didn't do too well. So we have a sweater. We do have some mittens, which are nice. Some thermal underwear. We have some socks. And a pair of sneakers. Not terrible, but could be better. We're not going to be warm for very long. We look at our warmth bonus is only 4 degrees. Not great. Feels like 1 degree outside, so we're going to get cold fast. You can see those 3 down arrows. So those moodlets on the bottom, so we have our temperature, how rested we are, if we are thirsty, and if we're hungry. So all those things in balance keep us moving through the game. In terms of equipment, we did get a bedroll, we got a tin can, we got some painkillers, which are kind of nice, a thing of accelerant, a tinder plug, but it's, we're cold, so we need to move. Let's see, where are we? Okay. We're going to go ahead and follow this up, see which cabins we are by. The reason we're grabbing sticks along the way is if I find a fireplace, we might have to warm up, and sticks are free fire that I don't have to work for. You don't get super warm, but a small, slightly cold fire is better than no fire. We are going to keep an eye out for wolves, because in this playthrough, they do spawn on day 1. If we see one, we are going to run, because a wolf could really mess us up right now. So, you will hear Astrid complaining in the background. She's going to do it probably a lot, so... grab a couple of these. In case we don't find an aseptic right away, if we do get bit by a wolf, we want something to be able to stave off infection. And I'm really cold, so we need to keep moving. Here's some buns. You can either throw stones at bunnies to stun them and kill them, or we can set up snares.
Freezing.
Okay. We're gonna duck into this little dilapidated cabin here. We're gonna go ahead and get warmed up. These rose hips are used as painkillers. Our goal right now, though, is hoping there was some stuff here, but we need to make a fire. Actually, no, we're gonna keep moving. Because there's the road there, which means we are not actually far from my favorite spot to huddle up. So we're gonna go ahead and duck into the cabin and see what's there. In terms of health loss, so we're going to play a little bit of the starve mechanic to the game to our advantage. So in terms of health loss, I don't know the exact figure, so if I'm wrong, don't crucify me, please. But my understanding is you only lose 1% condition, so condition is that health bar at the bottom. So 1% condition per hour that you are hungry. I believe it's 2% if you are thirsty. You do lose, I think it's 3% when you're tired, and it's significantly more when you're cold for long periods of time. So in terms of priority, we're going to prioritize trying to get warm and staying warm. There's a deer. It's nice to see. Over eating, especially because early game calories can be scarce, so we do want to go ahead and preserve calories. Gosh, I hate those new sounds. Preserve calories when we can. So, you may find in certain places I am starving. I am doing that on purpose. Early game until we get level 5 cooking can be a little bit tricky to manage your food and your calorie intake. So you only really need to eat right before you go to bed in those situations. That will allow for health regeneration as well as keeping you from losing health overnight. So it's cold. I mean, we were inside and it's still cold. So we're going to have to start a fire.
Okay.
We found some soda pop. Soda pop's nice because it gives you water and it gives you calories. And you can eat this at any condition. So certain foods you don't want to eat once they fall below a certain percentage. Soda never really seems to give you food poisoning. I think it's one of those foods that can't. We also found a whetstone, which will be nice for keeping our tools in good shape, which is one of the most important things I would say in the game. Keeping the stuff that you have in good shape is as important as finding it or making it. So, wish we would get a little bit warmer here. Just hoping.
This'll come in handy.
So here's a disinfectant we were looking for. We'll probably hold on to it for a while, but if you look at the weight on it, it is 1.54 pounds, which is pretty heavy when we're talking about the amount of weight we can actually carry. Lots of accelerant, so there's another bottle of accelerant. Some reclaimed wood.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Water purification tablets. Not bad. Some more painkillers. So accelerant is good for quick fires in the beginning of the game. So you get your fire skill up. It does make it a little bit difficult to start fires. You do sometimes waste quite a few matches. And we'll go ahead as we go through, give you some tips on that as well. Things, to try to help reduce that. We'll go ahead and take the charcoal. I'm not sure if we're going to use it, but we'll take it. Worst case, I can drop it. Lots of tinder.
I'll take it.
Yes. So that was a really good find. So we found... Oh, I didn't take it. Whoops. Stacked papers. We don't want this. So this wool toque. This thing's going to keep us really warm. It's one of the best hats in the game, I would say, minus like the balaclava would be the only other one that I would say is better. And that's arguable. But on harder difficulties, the balaclava doesn't spawn. And we'll see if there's maybe one. Sometimes there's one that spawns upstairs. We'll see if we can find that. And that's still not enough to get us warm, so it is cold. There's a cooking pot. Cooking pots are nice because they allow us to melt more water than we can in cans. They are a little heavy though, so we go back to inventory management. This jerry can spawned here for me, so I think it is a persistent spawn. It's probably not guaranteed, but seems like a persistent spawn. So we'll stick that there. We don't have a lantern just yet. There's probably one somewhere nearby. Sneaky can of pinnacle peaches.
Best be prepared for anything.
Some food. Getting to the point where we should eat it soon or we won't be able to eat it for a while. We also don't have a can opener, which stinks. Oh, speaking of, this can opener also seems like a persistent spawn now with the new spawn mechanics. So, without a can opener, you actually lose calories from canned items. So you spill some out when you try to smash open the can. And if you have a knife, you lose a little bit less, but it does take the condition off of your knife. This is Bob. Bob is our friend here. He's going to hang out with us in the cabin. Bob has nothing good for us. Bob, you're useless. Found a bedroll.
Come in handy.
It's not a very good one, but we'll take it. I'm going to see if it's better than ours. This is nice. This is a fire starting book, so reading this will give us XP. Some more painkillers. Apparently we're going to have an addiction here. You cannot actually get addicted to painkillers in this game, but they're nice to have. They're lightweight. It sounds like it's getting nasty outside. Nothing. Sounds like we got here just in time. That sounds like a blizzard.
This stuff will come in handy.
Ketchup chips. I guess Canadians like these. I've had them before. They're not so great, but I've heard people say they're amazing, so. We're we're gonna do the sacrilege thing, and we are gonna burn books. So we gotta get a fire started. I need to make some water. So these notes that are left behind, basically these are the developer's way of allowing the backers for the game, so the Kickstarters, to be able to go ahead and add things in. I'm not going to read this to you. You can go ahead and pause here and read it for yourself. They're nice little like storytelling bits that are just kind of meant to add story value to the game, I think. They're kind of neat, and they give the game a little bit of a personal touch. So there's also items called Karens. Not Karens like I want to speak to your manager Karens, but Karens. Trying to see if I can find them. But they're little like caches. They're little like rock thingies on the ground that you can. Basically, backers are able to write notes on those as well. I used to know where they were. It tells you how many you collect. But, alas, no more wasted time on that. So, we didn't get really any more clothing except for the hat. I'm not complaining, the hat's nice. We're going to go ahead and break some things. Get a fire started, because we are losing a good amount of condition here. Watch that condition bar go down pretty quickly. So we're going to go ahead and start a fire. In terms of tricks here, wait, have we found any matches? We are not going to start a fire. Oh, we do have some matches. Okay. We're actually going to do something else, though. So we did find some lantern fuel. Best thing you can do is try to waste the least amount of matches possible, especially with we only have 12. So we want to kind of prioritize those things pretty well. We're going to go ahead and the set of mittens that are worse. So we're going to go ahead and equip the better ones. We only have one set of hands. So we're going to go ahead. We are going to break these ones down for the cloth. It'll take us 10 minutes. We're probably going to hurt a little bit more by doing that. But we're going to use that and we're going to craft a torch. So to craft a torch, we need sticks, cloth, lamp oil. We can do this anywhere, which means we can do it in our inventory. We don't have to be at a workbench. So we're going to craft that. Take a little bit more health damage. We are in a safe spot, so we will regenerate it. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead take out this torch, light it, and then when we go into the wood stove, start the fire. We can either choose from matches, which we're not going to do, or we can choose the torch. So if you can see the difference in the success, gives us a little bit better chance. The biggest thing here is going to be, we're going to use an accelerant just because it's cold, and we have 3 of them, is that you only ever use 1 match to light this. If I were to fail at lighting this fire with a match, we've then wasted the match. But if we do it with a torch, you only ever have to just use the same torch over again. So you've only ever used 1 match. Whereas if you fail, every time you fail, you use another match. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make some water. Because we're going to stash some water away. We're going to use our second pot and set up the can. I like to do my water in batches. I find that it just saves time, it's less resources. And the other thing we're going to do here is we're going to tuck in for an hour and sleep. That bed warmth does give us more warmth than just being next to the fire. We're going to take advantage and try to boost our warmth a bit. Okay, now we're nice and warm. Water's almost done boiling, so we're going to go ahead and knock some of these crates down in the meantime. Really sounds blustery outside still. It's going to take us 45 minutes. How long's left on this water? 35 minutes. Let's see if there's any crates downstairs. Actually, we'll break this down. Cloth is really important when we find a sewing kit because it will allow us to repair our clothing. As your clothing wears down, the amount of warmth it gives you also wears down, so it's important to keep your clothing in top shape. So we're almost done there. So if you look, our shoes really need some love. They're only at 23%. They're only giving us 0.2% wind protection and 0.4% warmth. These are not ideal. Socks, same thing. They're at 62%, but they're only giving us 0.3 degrees. Long johns are giving us 1.6. Jeans are giving us 1.2. And then we have the mittens giving us 0.8. This sweater really needs some love as well at 47%. This cotton toque is actually in pristine condition and it gives us 3.5. Water sounds like it's done. So now we have half a gallon of potable water. So we're gonna drink our fill up our bar here. We're gonna do another batch. No, we're not. We're just gonna take that for now because I need to go get more wood. But yeah, so we'll take one of these with us. I thought about taking the second one, but it's 4.4 pounds of just pots. I'm thinking the weather's gonna keep us inside. Sometimes it's just blustery, but it sounds like it's blizzarding. And yeah, we don't want to move in this. So this, we step outside and where we're not cold protected, our temperature bar drops fast. We don't want to die we just finally got warmed up. So, you know, at half condition like we are right now, we really want to see what other stuff we can do. I'm gonna knock some of these crates down and hope that blizzard stops. So we are steadily gaining some health. This blizzard will not quit, man. But it's gonna stop right as it gets dark, watch. And there we go. Just as I thought. So, time of day at the top.
I could eat a horse.
Yes, you're hungry. So,
horses.
you know, we probably could scoot across. It's still light out, so we could scoot across to the back cabins there. It's actually probably what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab some cattails along the way, because they're a good source of food that you can eat. They don't go rancid. You can eat the stalk, and then the head is actually used as tinder. We'll take it just because we used our tinder plug. And it's free, I don't have to craft it, but we probably won't collect them for most of the time. I'm not going to go out of my way and collect all these cattails right now just because we don't necessarily need them just yet, and they're good emergency food for, you know, when you need them. So we'll grab them along the way, but they're all around this lake, so we're not going to go out of our way. I have to say as well, I'm a nerd and love all of the sound bites from this game. Everything from walking through the snow to walking over the ice, things like that. So I'm going to shut up for a little while so you can hear that. And let me know what you think. Okay, shut up is over. We just found a hatchet.
Thank you.
This is great for us for survivability. This allows us to protect ourselves from wolves. It's one of the better items to use to protect ourselves from wolves. And it's also great for wood. It's going to make us getting wood so much better. Found a scarf. Would probably get used for cloth, but that's okay. Some fishing line. And you can also break up these fishing holes and fish from them. We don't really need to do it yet, so we won't. But it's a good way to get food if you don't have a weapon to down deer, or, there aren't many rabbits around. You can always default to fish. So as you can see all the way to the left on my screen, we do have some wolves over there. We're going to be a little bit cautious moving around, so we might have to haul butt into one of those cabins. As a fun bonus tip, I have my field of view set to 100, so things on the edge of my screen are actually a little bit magnified. So we have 1, 2, 3 wolves over there. We're just going to keep an eye on. I'd like to go to that fishing shack there, but I think we need to get moving. So we're going to keep moving, and we'll cut back to that fishing shack tomorrow in game. Got some deer here, which is a great sign, because it means there shouldn't be any wolves over here. So I hear crows, which means there's a body of some sort nearby. It's probably in the next set of cabins that way. The crows just indicate that either there's a carcass somewhere that we can go usually harvest from, or that there's a dead body somewhere that we can loot. You can also use the crow feathers for crafting arrows, which is pretty important later game. So anytime we hear crows, we're going to run and grab those feathers if we can. As long as it's safe to do so, we will. These little cabins are nice because they do usually have a good amount of stuff in them. Usually food and some clothing and things. But I think this is going to prove to me to be a liar. There's some matches though. That's nice. Wood matches are a little bit better for starting fires than cardboard matches. But any matches are better than no matches.
I'll take it.
There's a scarf. Another soda.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
So these shoes are nice because they are free leather. They suck though. So they look very uncomfortable. They're not warm. They're not very water resistant. But they're good to break down. So they're actually, because of the condition of our sneakers, we're going to actually put them on because they are warmer and they are more water resistant than our sneakers because of that condition that we talked about before. So as much as I hate these stupid leather shoes, we're going to wear them and look ridiculous, tromping through the snow in them, because they're better quality. I'm hoping to find some boots soon so we can tear them both down. But for right now, we'll take them. Those shoes are better than no shoes. Alright, so it's not quite dark yet. We are a little bit hungry. And we're thirsty. So we did bring all this water with us. We're gonna go ahead and drink it. I'm gonna hang on to the Summit sodas. We don't need the weight right this second. We can go ahead and throw one of these scarves on as well. Should have done it when we were at the cabin, but I didn't think about it, to be honest with you. So go ahead and throw that on. We're gonna go ahead and break this other one down, since we need to pass some time anyway. I'm gonna eat first, though, because I don't want to start losing health from being hungry on top of everything else. These ketchup chips, they're 54%. They're not yellow in the condition, so they're pretty safe to eat. We're going to go ahead and eat those. And I made a comment earlier about these Pinnacle peaches. At 65%, they should be safe to eat, but Pinnacle peaches are one of those things that you have a higher percentage of getting food poisoning at a lower percentage of condition. We don't have any antibiotics. So I didn't see any reishi mushrooms along the way. I probably missed them. So anything that's yellow right now is not for us to eat. So I actually still border on wanting to eat these Pinnacle peaches because we don't have antibiotics if we do get sick. So I actually think I'm going to go ahead and eat these cattails tonight. We only need about 750 calories to get us through the night, so we gain all of our health back. We have 500, so to do, if we said 9 hours, we have enough. We have enough to do 10, so we're going to go ahead and eat one more cattail, just to get us over. And we have a little bit of light left, so we're going to go ahead and break this down too. Awesome. The reason I do this is it passes some time, but it's productive passing of time. The other thing is these things are heavy. So clothing, if you see the weights on them, they're pretty heavy. So the less you can carry around with you, the better. And the items you get from them are actually, they weigh less anyway. It's a little bit time consuming, so I try to do it when I don't have anything else to do, because it does waste a good amount of time. Okay. So, if we had a sewing kit, which we don't, and we don't have a hook, I would sit here and repair some of these clothes. It's dark out now, so we are actually going to tuck in and go to sleep. I'm going to go ahead and drink one of these Summit sodas just to get some additional calories from them, since we did just waste a little bit of calories. And we're going to tuck in for 8 hours. Alright, so we have survived 21 hours and 42 minutes, so it's not even been a full day yet. We're still a little bit sleepy. It's not quite.
Starving.
You're not starving, you have food. It's not quite morning time yet, and we still need a little bit more rest, so we're going to rest a little bit longer. But I could take this time to tell you a little bit more about me. Pretty boring overall, I would say. I work a desk, so nothing super exciting in terms of work stories. I like my job, love what I do, but it's not the most entertaining. I am a debt negotiator with a large corporation. You won't catch me saying that large corporation on camera, but I do work directly with creditors and clients to negotiate debt that's enrolled in one of our debt relief programs. That's really all you'll get in terms of work for me. It's a pretty boring job. You won't really hear me talking about it much. In terms of my personal life, also, we're not the most exciting people. My partner and I are getting married in May, so we're excited about that. But lots of planning going in there. We have 2 dogs. So we have a almost 5-year-old golden retriever named Cricket. And we have a almost 2-year-old Swedish Vallhund. That's Vallhund. If you would like to look up and see what they look like, they are pretty unique looking dogs with very unique personalities. That really got me into actually showing dogs. I didn't have too many hobbies other than work and gaming before them, but I will say the channel is actually named after our Swedish Vallhund Siren. She is actually been a little bit of an inspiration for me. I do suffer from some anxiety disorder, which you know, makes doing things that I'm not comfortable with a bit hard. Having her has actually pushed me out of that boundary a bit, just because it's something I've wanted to do, getting into dog showing and things like that. And I have a great support system with her breeder and the friends I've met along the way. I've pushed out some of my hobbies also now include laser engraving. I am working on getting a shop for that up and going as well. It's just some additional fun income that I can use to support my addictions, such as gaming and crafting and things like that. So, um, we found some banged up pork and beans here, which is nice. It's more calories. They are a little bit lower conditioned, so we're going to wait to eat them until we have some antibiotics.
This'll come in handy.
So, and I'm also learning leather crafting. So, some things I do in my spare time. Not a whole lot in this cabin here. But other than that, pretty boring. So, you may catch me saying some personal stories here and there. Primarily, probably about the dogs. They get into semantics that are kind of funny, but if you don't mind and you like what you're hearing so far, mind smacking that like button for me. Consider subscribing. Being a new channel, every subscribe counts. So I'm gonna work on trying to get, you know, a couple videos up a week if I can. I do work 9 to 6, so ooh, and there's Wolfie. So found a Wolfie. What we're gonna do here, a little bit of a trick. It's a little bit of a, I would say, cheap trick. So wolves, they're afraid of fire. If I take this torch and I go ahead, drop it, pick this rock up, cock it back, he's gonna charge. He's gonna go, oh no, there's fire. I don't like fire. And he's gonna run away. And he's gonna leave us alone. Avoid wolf struggles as much as possible. They don't do anything for anybody except get you hurt. If you don't have weapons early game, it is a good way to get some cheap meat. If you stab them with a hatchet or a dagger, they will eventually bleed out. But it's just really not worth the condition loss to yourself or to your gear. There's those crows we were hearing before. Probably a body over here. There's usually one that spawns in this area. Yep. So here is an unfortunate friend that didn't quite make it. Sorry, friend. We're gonna take your ketchup chips though. I don't think you need them. These are the feathers I was talking about. You need several per arrow, so stocking them up when you can. Oh, where's the rest of my arrows? Or my feathers? Usually drop a few of them. But they're cheap, it only gave us one, I guess. I'm not seeing any more. Fine, be that way. We're gonna go ahead and keep this torch out. It's a little bit wasteful, but I don't want to waste another match. And we're gonna probably need it, so.
This stuff will come
Driving
in handy.
gloves, they're good for leather. That's really about it. They're not very warm. Apparently we're just only allowed to wear leather shoes because they gave us a better pair. Oh, Hinterlands, it's like you heard me complain. I don't like your shoes. You give me better ones. Okay, well we're gonna wear them.
Oh, lucky day.
Some grape soda. Dog food. Yum. Better than nothing. Smells bad, but eating it's better than starving. Probably. peek around. Sometimes they like to hide things on the floors and in the corners, things like that. Look at all them puppy dogs. Look at them. There's one, a two, a three, a four. And the one that's over there that tried to chomp on our giblets already. There's another backer note. I'll let you pause here and read this if you'd like. Talks about the wolves. It's cold out again. Could be that we're running around in our underwear and jeans as well.
I think I can
These
use
fire
this.
logs, they're really heavy. They're not very warm. We'll take it because we don't have much else to carry, but it'll be the first thing I drop. Later game, I probably would have left it unless I was literally 2 steps from home because they're 4 pounds. Weight management is really important early game. It's a nice can. This is probably dinner. Spray paint, I don't use it, but some people do. You can use it to mark things on your map. We don't even have any of the map filled out yet, so probably won't use it at the moment. I was hoping for a hunting knife, but alas, no such luck. Now we have a choice to make. So, we can either try to skirt around these puppy dogs, or we can go all the way back around. I think we're going to try to skirt around these puppy dogs and threaten them with stones again, if needed. But we're likely going to aggro at least one of them. So this could end badly for us. Let's hope it doesn't. I don't really want to be puppy chow. I'm not the nicest of puppies, but I'm just gonna... Yep, there's one.
My fingers are numb.
We might be able to make it to this cabin. I might not have to worry about him. Alright. Cat and toque. Not as nice as the Canadian toque, but what's the saying? Don't look a gifted horse in the mouth. More painkillers. Lovely. Antibioticos, please.
Hope nobody needs
Stim.
this anymore.
That's nice. So stims are good because they give you emergency health. So if you are dying, I believe they give you like 25% health. They also fill your energy bar for a short period of time. Kind of like if you have any medical knowledge, like giving an epinephrine injection, I would imagine. It makes your heart race. You get that fight or flight reaction going. But you crash hard after. So you need to be within range of something that is... gonna let you rest afterwards because you're gonna be tired. But if you're stuck between a rock and a hard place,
Thank you.
some better peaches. Might save your life. I've seen it save quite a few people's lives, popping a stim and running, or popping a stim and running into a bed to sleep. So, the cold will get you every time. This game, when you get cocky, will eat you alive. So... and it will do it, and it will laugh at you while it's doing it. It's not a hard game, but don't mess up. You'll regret it. We're actually going to sleep for an hour. I am a little bit tired. However, I'm more worried about the wolf that's on the other side of this door. That's probably still there. I'm going to rest for an hour. We'll get warm. And hope that wolf is gone. I'm going to hope I don't have to light this torch. I'm probably going to have to. But we'll see what we can do. Drink some water. I'll pull out this torch in case I do need to light it. This wheel, I guess I could explain real quickly. So weapons, the only weapon we have right now is a stone. Not the most advantageous, but we'll kill a rabbit or fend off a wolf. We have some food here. We're not going to eat any of it right now. Light sources, so you can light a match to light an area, but it only lights it for like half a second, it seems like. So we have our torch. We have water. And we have our sodas, because they're technically a drink. First aid, we have lots of painkillers. Some antiseptic, and a stim. Campcraft, so my bedroll, which we haven't had to put down yet because we keep going from bed to bed. Bedrolls are very important though. They do give you a place to sleep. You cannot sleep without a bedroll or a bed. You can pass time, so if I wanted to, if I wasn't tired or it wouldn't let me sleep, I could play cards for an hour to go ahead and get that wolf away. We can't craft a fire indoors, but you can craft a fire. Or a snow shelter. Snow shelters are, you use sticks and cloth. It makes a little makeshift huddle for you. It's good if you get stuck in a blizzard and you've got nowhere to go. It's better than nothing. And then our can and our pot. Navigation would give us the option to either make a rock cache. There's a map in the game, but we haven't unlocked any of it. The spray paint thing, even though we don't have spray paint, the can's here no matter what. The map, we have nothing filled out on it yet. When we get to the watchtower, maybe I'll fill it out so you can see it. We're gonna just crouch, just in case this wolf is outside. And he appears to have gone, and they look like they've migrated that way. I think we're good. There is a bear that can spawn here sometimes, so you are able to actually kill this bear from that porch sometimes. Get a couple good shots in on it. I would really only recommend doing that if you have a rifle or a bow, especially early game. They can eat a lot of revolver shots before they go down, and if they do get you, they really hurt. They won't kill you first shot, but they really hurt. You take a lot of damage, and it takes a while to regen that health, unless you're well prepared. More emergency food. We are going to tuck into this fishing shack. Alright guys, and we are actually coming up on an hour now. Just because of the time of day, I do actually have to call this video a few minutes early. So we're going to go ahead and loot this, but then we're going to throw a sleeping bag down and sleep for an hour, call it a night. Well, a day. Nothing really exciting in here, no good tools. I was hoping for at least a hook. Sometimes there's a hook laying on top of these things, but alas, none of it. So my last little trick for you before we go. If you do pull out a bedroll, well, they did make it. You used to not be able to put a bedroll down in these areas. So you used to have to stick them up here, but I guess they've now fixed it so you can actually stick a bedroll here and lay on the ground. Before, this area was all red, so you couldn't do it. So you'd actually have to sleep outside. Ooh, it's foggy. Yuck. We don't want to travel on this anyway. So, but guys, it was great adventuring with you today. Go ahead, enjoy the rest of your day, and just remember, there's always adventure out there waiting. So go ahead, try new things. Don't be like me, but try new things. Get out of your comfort zone. Even if it's as simple as playing a game you didn't think you were going to be any good at. Spoilers, sometimes it turns into one of your favorite games. What I mean by that? I watched many streamers play this game before I got the courage to play it myself because I didn't think I would be good enough. Um, that all being said, have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw today, please go ahead and hit that like button. Consider subscribing. Like I said, newer channel, still a little bit newbie and green at this, but we'll get everything worked out. If you have any advice, go ahead and throw it in the comment section. We are working on a very limited budget right now because I don't want to dump too much money into this until I know this is going to work out. So I know the mic's a little bit tingy. I do hear it on my end as well. We'll work on it. But we are a baby channel. Baby channels need some nourishment. So if you don't mind, go ahead and share this link with friends as well. Get us out there, get us moving, and I will do my best to keep content rolling for you. Appreciate all your time today, and I hope you have a lovely day. Adventure away, friends. Bye-bye.